You've already spent 3 years in a relationship that makes you miserable. You've already invested $50,000 in a business that's clearly failing. So you stay. You throw more time, more money, more hope into something you know is broken. Why? Because of a single psychological bias that costs the average person years of their life. It's called the sunk cost fallacy, and it's probably controlling your decisions right now. Let's start with the definition. The sunk cost fallacy is your brain's tendency to continue investing in something because of what you've already invested, not because of what you'll gain. A sunk cost is money, time, or effort that's already gone. You can't get it back. Yet somehow, that lost investment becomes the primary reason to keep going. Your ancient ancestors faced genuine survival trade-offs. If you'd already spent energy hunting in one direction, abandoning that effort for an uncertain path felt like wasting what you'd already spent. That heuristic kept them alive. But in the modern world, it destroys lives. Your brain evolved to fear waste more than it fears bad decisions. So when you realize you're on the wrong path, something feels deeply wrong about turning back. The cost already paid whispers to you, keep going, don't let it be for nothing. This isn't stupidity. This isn't lack of willpower. This is your survival instinct working against your modern life. Let's make this concrete. You've been dating someone for 5 years. The relationship isn't working. You're not happy. But you think about the 5 years you've invested. The shared memories. The plans you made. So you stay for another year. Then another. Then 5 more. Some people stay for decades, sacrificing their entire happiness window on someone they'd never choose if they were starting fresh today. That's the sunk cost fallacy in intimate relationships. Now shift to your career. You spent 4 years getting a degree in engineering. You hate engineering. The job pays well, so you stay. You tell yourself you can't abandon those 4 years of education. You're 35 years old, potentially with 40 more years of work ahead, and you're making that decision based on 4 years you can't change. In investing, it's even clearer. A person buys a stock at $200. It drops to $50. Instead of cutting losses and redeploying that remaining money, they hold it because they're waiting for it to get back to $200. They're throwing good money after bad, hoping to recover what's already lost. Warren Buffett calls this the most expensive word in investing. Why? Why did I buy this? I'm not asking why I should sell it now. I'm asking why I bought it. That backwards question keeps money trapped in failing positions. The math is brutal. Let's say you're in that relationship. You stay for 5 extra years because of 5 years already spent. You don't meet the person you would have been with instead. You don't pursue the career that would have made you happy. You don't take the risks that lead to growth. You've now lost 10 years to protect 5. That's a multiplication of suffering. The financial cost is equally stark. A study from the Journal of Economic Behavior and Organization found that people will spend an additional $1,000 trying to save an investment of $5,000, even when that additional $1,000 has zero chance of recovering the loss. The sunk cost doesn't just waste money. It commits you to a future trajectory based on a past mistake. Every year you stay, the psychological weight grows. The decision feels more permanent. The exit costs feel higher. What started as a small bad decision becomes a defining limitation of your entire life. And here's the deepest cost, the opportunity cost of your attention. Your mental energy, your emotional resources, your time, they're finite. Every moment you spend justifying your wrong path is a moment you're not spending building the right one. You're not just losing what you invested in the sunk cost. You're losing everything you could have built instead. There are 3 psychological forces that keep the sunk cost trap locked. First is cognitive dissonance. You've already told yourself a story about this decision. You've told your friends, your family, your colleagues. Leaving means admitting you were wrong. And that admission feels dangerous. Your ego resists it. Your identity is invested in being consistent, in being right. So you double down to make the past decision seem wise. Second is loss aversion. Your brain is wired to feel losses twice as intensely as gains. Losing $5,000 hurts more than gaining $5,000 feels good. So when you're confronted with a $5,000 sunk cost, the psychological pain of losing it is extreme. You'll do irrational things to avoid that feeling. Third is justification. Your brain is extraordinary at generating reasons why your bad decision was actually smart. You minimize the downsides. You exaggerate the potential upside. You convince yourself that this time will be different, that things are improving, that you just need to be patient. Casinos exploit this perfectly. Slot machine players spend more and more money not because they think they'll win big anymore, but because they're angry at how much they've already lost. Their brains manufacture a fictional scenario where recouping losses becomes possible, and they keep feeding the machine. That's not greed. That's loss aversion hijacking your decision-making system. Here's how to escape. Framework 1, the reversibility test. Ask yourself this question: if I hadn't already made this investment, would I make it again today? Not someday. Not with my hopes and dreams attached. Today. With current information. If the answer is no, you're stuck in a sunk cost trap. The beautiful part is that question immediately shifts your focus from the past to the future. You're not deciding based on what you've lost. You're deciding based on what comes next. Framework 2, the opportunity cost inventory. Write down 3 things you could do with the time, money, or energy you're currently spending on this sunk cost. Make them specific. Not vague future plans. Real alternatives. You could build a side project, learn a new skill, spend time with people who energize you. When you see those alternatives written down, the cost of your current path becomes visceral. You stop thinking about what you'll lose by leaving. You start thinking about what you're losing by staying. Framework 3, the sunk cost expiration date. Set a date 30, 60, or 90 days from now. On that date, you will make a final decision about this commitment. No sunk costs allowed in that decision. Only future outcomes. This removes the paralysis. You're not committing to leave. You're just committing to an honest evaluation. The deadline dissolves the cognitive dissonance because you're not fighting the present decision anymore. You're just buying time to think clearly. The best time to escape a sunk cost trap is before you enter it. So learn to spot these thinking patterns in real time. First red flag: you're using the words "because" and "investment" in the same sentence when justifying a decision. I'm staying because I've invested so much. That's pure sunk cost thinking. Crosscheck: would this decision make sense to someone who knew nothing about your past investment? If not, you're being controlled by sunk costs. Second red flag: you're asking how to make something work instead of whether it should work. When you spend your mental energy on optimization instead of evaluation, you're probably trapped. A good decision shouldn't require that much justification. Third red flag: you're waiting for something to return to its previous state. The stock to recover. The relationship to feel like it did early on. The job to become what you thought it would be. The past doesn't rewind. Stop organizing your future around recovering something that's gone. The strongest protection is this: develop a personal policy of regular evaluation. Every quarter, ask yourself about your major commitments. Not to obsess over them, but to reality check them. Are you in this because of where you are now and where you want to go? Or are you in this because of where you've been? That clarity, maintained consistently, will save you thousands of hours and dollars. The sunk cost fallacy feels like it's protecting you. It feels like wisdom to stick with something you've invested in. But it's actually one of the most expensive lies your brain tells you. Every day you let a sunk cost control your decision is a day you're not building toward the life you actually want. The past is information. It's not destiny. You can change your mind. You can change your path. And the best time to do that is now, not 5 years from now, wondering why you didn't do it earlier. If this changed how you think about your decisions, subscribe and hit the bell. The next video explores another bias that's probably costing you more than you realize. See you there.